Money in there somewhere.
And I'm like, I don't have a brain for that. This week I threatened. This week I was like, should I go back to school for my MBA?
Dude, I was like, should I get a teaching degree?
So we'll have to get into that more. Oh my gosh.
Are you thirsty?
I'm thirsty.
I know.
And I want to talk to you about this because that was me sipping water, everybody.
Glug.
I am a new member of the Stanley Cup family.
Stanley family.
If you're not aware, Stanley Cups are all the rage with the sorority sisters across the U.S.
They love their ice cold bevs.
Love it. It keeps your beverage cold. It's like 40 ounces. I saw a woman put a full bottle of wine in a Stanley Cup.
Good for her.
And go on a walk. But I found with the Stanley Cup, because it comes with a straw, I'm drinking a lot more water than without the straw.
I could not agree more. I got this. Are we rolling?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. I got my straw cup. It's a knockoff. It's not a Stanley.
Okay.
It's a Target brand. But it is also huge, and it also stays nice and cold. It also has a straw. Listen, this girl has gone through Nalgene after Nalgene.
Yes.
And I cannot not pour it down my chest.
Yes.
Every time I try to take it. Also, the flappy, like the attached lid. I get it. I get that you want the lid to be attached to the bottle because otherwise you would lose it or whatever. But the Nalgene one where you're like fighting it, it's like slapping you in the eye while you're trying to sip out of the overly wide mouth.
And my jaw just gives out. My bottom jaw will give out. And next thing you know, I'm drooling down my shirt. The water's just going.
It's dripping out the sides of the mouth. It's just coming out the front. You don't know. Like you're knocking it back. So you're like, gravity is it's not, you haven't consented to have all this water in your face, but it's just happening. You're like, wanted a little drizzle and you're getting a dump.
So true. So true. I mean, it's just so convenient drinking out of straw. It's easy. You know where you're going. You're puckered up. Everything's sealed off.
Oh, the suction. It's
satisfying. It's satisfying.
You ever accidentally like blow it back in the throat too hard with the straw?
No, I haven't.
That's good. I mean,
you've been there?
No, not really. I don't know why I asked that. But you know what I have? I wonder if this is a normal irrational fear.
Okay.
When drinking out of straws, like on the go, I'm like have a weird lingering fear that I'm gonna like stab myself in the soft palate with a straw.
Ooh.
I think my friend's mom was a nurse growing up, and she like told me about somebody that like stabbed themselves on accident with a popsicle stick. They like were running eating a popsicle and like popped up in there.
One of those stories.
Yeah. And I've always been a little bit afraid of a straw hitting me in the top of my mouth. Or I also like sometimes can't decide whether I want the straw in front of or behind my teeth, like within the teeth. Where's yours hitting?
Always behind the teeth, because I have a fear of the straw hitting the teeth.
Yeah.
And like chipping a tooth or knocking my teeth back a little.
And I'm a big fan of the like reusable straw, like a
yes.
But then they're sturdy, and they got some force coming into those front teeth.
Those metal straws. That clanking alone, the idea of a metal straw clanking my, you got to see Erin's face says it all right now, but it's terrifying. And also like, ooh yeah. It just makes, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
There it is. It's the equivalent of that. So yeah, I'm going to do a sip just to see.
But I think I'm a behind the teeth always.
Yeah, I'd put it behind the teeth. I kind of feel like a real goofball if I put it in front of my teeth, actually, like a child.
Yeah. Just sucking it through.
Yeah. Well, so the straw fears, do you think normal?
I think the straw fear is normal. I think because you hear those one-off stories too often of something happening to the mouth, a tooth getting shoved up a gum, all that. It's totally normal.
I have a lot of mouth fears, I think, in general. Like my nightmares are teeth falling out nightmares.
Oh, I've had a couple of those. I've had a couple of those. Symbolic
of something else entirely, I think, but it's still happening in the mouth.
Yeah.
Sensitive place.
It's a scary place.
So what's up, listeners? You're you're listening to Is This Normal? It's a podcast where we discuss your anonymous submissions, your quirks, your queries, your confessions, and we debate whether they're normal or special or something else altogether. I'm Erin Ingle.
I'm Alyssa Yeoman.
And we're drinking out of straws.
We're drinking out of straws. I got a little too high off the vape pen, I think.
Oops. Yeah.
I took that little puff and now I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. I was trying to get like a little bit more energy and I forgot that that's not how weed works.
I do that too.
Why do I deceive myself?
I do that too. I'm like, I need to pick me up. And then I'm like, this weed straight to the dome will definitely pick me up. And I'm like, no, it's just taking you to outer space and to bed.
Maybe if I took a hit and then got on my bike and rode to the popsicle store. But as it stands, I'm just in practically pajamas and warm, comfy, soothed.
Yeah.
It was maybe not the best choice, but
just swaddles you up. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Should we hop in to today's?
Yeah. What do we got to?
Let's do it.
What are the people talking about?
I think this will be a good one. I'm excited to see what people think. More on irrational fears. So, is this normal? One of my most irrational fears is walking on a grate on the street and the grate falls and I fall into the sewer.
Very, very relatable to me.
So relatable. Mm-hmm. I feel that. I feel like I'm going to fall right into that hole. Just one wobble and I'll be down there.
Perhaps even worse to me and is that I would drop my phone down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm always clutching my keys and my phone whenever I go over a grate, or I'll like put them in my bag before I go. If I have to walk over a grate, if I can avoid the grate, I will avoid it.
Yeah, just go around.
Yeah.
Does Wolfgang walk on them? Can he handle it?
No, he doesn't walk on them.
I think dogs know better.
Dogs are like, my paws are not made for those holes.
It's probably I think maybe our feet, like with shoes on, can straddle the little lines, but little doggy paws are like, they're like, why would you do this to me? I'm not a fucking agility trained animal here. Did you grow up in an area that had cattle guards? Like, did you ever do you know what I mean when I say a cattle guard?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Listeners, do you know what I mean when I say cattle guard? Like country road, like it's the exit of a ranch maybe, and there's like bars in the ground that go across the street, and I think the cows won't walk on them, so they just like, it's like the gate can be, there can be no like gate to your ranch, but the cows won't get out or whatever.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, growing up, we would like lift our feet up off the ground of the floor of the car when going over the cattle guard. Why am I unlocking this memory right now?
I don't know. Was it just like a game?
I guess so. I think it was like a don't step on the crack type of thing.
Right. Like floor is lava situation.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you why.
That's so funny.
What witchcraft was underneath those cattle guards that I was afraid of.
I love those games that you made up as a kid that aren't even really, they're just like, this is our rule now.
Yes, it's not a game, it's just a rule.
Yeah. Like Slug Bug. I thought about Slug Bug the other day. I was asked Isaac if he ever played, and he was like, I don't think I've ever heard of that. And
he was an only child, right?
No,
he wasn't. Of course.
He was an only child.
Oh my God, I know this.
Yeah. But I'm like, he was like, oh, I never played. And then he was like, I only feel like it was inflicted on me because other people would punch you for it.
Yeah, you get in the car with your friend's family and then their big brother is like just punching the shit out of you.
Exactly. Or like holding your breath in a tunnel.
Definitely did that.
Yeah.
Never like passed out or anything.
Yeah, never got that far. But
I think you have to have a lot more willpower than I would to actually hold your breath long enough to pass out.
Yeah. You'd have to be going through a big tunnel. Maybe I'll try it in that Seattle tunnel we have now.
It's like 2 miles long.
While I'm driving, just check it out. See if I can do it.
You're behind Alyssa's car. You see it just swerve slowly to the side. Oh no, they're holding their breath.
Oh my gosh. But this fear I feel like it feels very normal. I mean, you got 2 out of 2 people immediately who are like, we're scared of the grate.
Mm-hmm. Or like a manhole cover.
The manhole cover.
There might be a man in that hole.
The Ninja Turtles are down there. Mm-hmm. You don't want to see what's up.
they might not be as friendly as we imagine them to be.
Could be snapping turtles.
Oh no, sewer's full of snapping turts. Yeah, the sewer grate, and you don't want to walk over it if you can avoid it. It's scary. You might fall in. Something might come out and grab you. Like, I actually saw the like new It movie.
Oh yeah,
I did not see it growing up, thank God, because that would have been way too scary for me. But it was already pretty impactful as a full adult seeing the new one.
Yeah, him just like scary in that drain.
Blech.
I used to be scared of that because that's a different, that drain.
Yeah,
down.
what do you call that? Underneath the sidewalk.
Yeah, where you can look down in there. That is always been terrifying to me.
There was a scary element of that in Now and Then.
Oh,
Stand By Me for Girls.
Now and Then. It is Stand By Me for Girls, for the girls. Oh my gosh, so true.
Has everyone seen that? Out of like,
that's a classic film.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we got to rewatch
what
that.
We got Rosie. We got
Christina Ricci.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
That girl that was in everything back then.
Right.
And then the woman that was her grown up, like maybe not Demi Moore, but somebody that looks like her to me.
Yeah.
I won't name these celebrities. I'm not going to get there. But it was like maybe Thora Birch, little kid Thora Birch.
Maybe.
It was like 4 celebrity children and 4 celebrity adults.
I want to Google so bad. I'll have to look it up later.
Okay,
though.
All right. Well,
it was good. It was good.
Where's our researcher / producer? When do we need one?
We need a third person in the room. Where's Get Fields on that computer?
Yeah, he can hack. Yeah, this, as far as irrational fears go, because like obviously they're irrational because there's not going to happen,
right?
But probably still very normal.
I think it's normal. Mm-hmm. I used to have an irrational fear of sharks in a swimming pool.
Oh yeah,
which is a very common one.
Yeah, Did you see Jaws when you were a kid? And
maybe that's where it came from. Yeah. But yeah, definitely used to be scared to swim in pools at night because of that. Just
at nighttime. Ooh,
yeah,
that does sound scary.
Yeah, right.
There was some episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark when I was a kid that had something freaky happen in a pool. It was like some like bloody gooey monster thing, and I was freaked the fuck out by pools for quite a while after that. Like a YMCA type pool, Yeah,
that show instilled a lot of fears in me.
Mm-hmm. I can still hear the like creepy laugh at the beginning of it in my head.
So good. But this one will file it under normal. So don't be ashamed of that irrational fear. We all have it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is it me?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this normal? When my cat meows at me, I respond, "Yes, my perfect angel who has never done anything wrong in her entire life." I can see it.
I can see it. I feel like this is if you're a pet owner, but this does feel very specifically cat owner.
Mm-hmm. Because the meow is such a different vibe than a bark.
It is. Mm-hmm. But it can have the same. I have a friend right now who has a very needy cat, and her meows like vary, and you can tell when she's just like meowing for attention, or it's like meowing because she needs something,
swearing at you.
Yeah, exactly. But to respond every time and say, "Yes, my perfect angel who has never done anything wrong in her entire life."
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. That's a special cat. Yeah. You got a special relationship. Because sometimes you respond to your pet and you're like, yes, what do you need?
Yeah.
And then other times you're like, what the fuck could you possibly want right now? For me. But that's what I have a dog. So dogs are a little more.
You're like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Exactly.
You have all of your needs are met. You're on the couch. You're comfy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So to me, this is normal. This half is normal. When my cat meows at me, I respond.
Okay.
Normal.
Right.
Yes, my perfect angel who has never done anything wrong in her entire life. Special.
Yes. Is this a split? We split it?
It's a Norshal.
We got a Norshal. Normal but special. Yeah, because I do think the response is special. Mm-hmm. That's like, you hold your cat on a pedestal and your cat is running that house.
Word for word, exactly what I would say. That cat is running that house. You right here, we have a normal special, like we've got 2 scoops of ice cream. All right. There's like a chocolate and then there's like potato flavor. So we got a normal and we got something that's a little outside.
Yeah.
But it's still 2 scoops of great ice cream.
Exactly. The response is definitely special.
The cat is the king. And I mean, maybe they deserve it.
Right.
Maybe they're a perfect angel who's never done anything wrong.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
I doubt it. There's cats can do sinister shit when you're not around.
Yeah, and cats don't give a fuck either.
They're wild animals.
Yeah, they're kings of the jungle, and they live like that, and that's what they're giving at all times. And I love cats for that, but damn, they're not perfect angels.
Yeah, this is an inappropriate worship of cats. Actually, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of cultures and cults worship cats. So
yeah,
good on you.
Yeah, just what cats want. You got to give the cat what it wants.
It's in charge.
But yeah, I guess this is somewhere in between because the response is special. So are we going to give it a split, or are we going to say this is special because it is all one, technically?
Well, this is where the split is I was going to say it's normal because the behavior is normal despite the response being. So maybe it's a split. I think it's a split.
You think it's a split?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold for sound.
Yeah. You can do a new clap.
We'll give it a split. We haven't given a split. This is our first split on the show.
Like we've been
split, but we haven't given like a split. Like this is a normal / special thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to need to come up with a new word for it.
We do.
Yeah. Something
in between. We'll find it. Normcore, hit us up. Let us know what you think that is. Something between normal and special. Okay, our final one of the day. We kind of started off on this, so we're going to go probably deeper, but is it normal being pretty sure you're never going to know what you want out of life, but just winging it forever?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
The path laid before you is just appearing in my mind. I think some people like are 18 years old and are like, I'm going to have 3 kids. I'm going to live in a ranch style house. I'd like a large property with a riding lawnmower and a few small animals. And they do that. I think that's a thing, you know?
Yeah.
But I would assume that the vast majority of us are absolutely winging it.
Yeah. Right? You gotta be winging it. And even if you know exactly what you want out of life at a certain age or in general, life still happens and can very easily throw you off that path. So Amen. I think there's people who go with that, who are like, okay, maybe I thought I knew what I wanted and now it's revealed to me that what I wanted is a little different, or it's actually changed because of this person's come in my life, or this big thing has changed, or number of reasons.
A second financial crisis that's really interrupting my prospects.
Seriously. There's a pandemic that's happening, this has changed me. And then they go with that. And then there's people who those things happen and they're like, this doesn't waver the fact that I still want to be the greatest tennis player in the world.
I will not be deterred.
Right. Yeah. I won't be deterred.
Yeah. I think there's different vibes. Like you and I are both people that have like, I think, strong visions, but are like not as married to them, right? Like I don't know, talking about your Gemini rising and my Gemini sun, I'm like, I feel sometimes like I could be equally happy with like 2 disparate lives or truths or like what have you. I'm like, you know what, there's gonna be some charm, some loss, some like all of that is possible in any of these paths. So you just follow like 1 foot at a time, right? One foot in front of the other, and you get there and you make some decisions that like will permanently alter your options, and some that you can kind of be like, well, that was 5 years of maybe a mistake or a learning experience.
Seriously. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, I got this astrology reading once around my career, and she was like, basically like, the type of person who has to try lots of things, and you're going to try a lot of things. You'll be successful, but it just isn't going to look the same as it does for other people who just like automatically know. Which was hard to hear because I was always envious. I don't know if you ever get this feeling, but I've always been kind of envious of people who are like, I know at 13 I want to be a doctor. I'm going to be a doctor. You know,
very much so.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, because you're like, that way always gets like put on a pedestal, and they have all this discipline. You assume they have all this discipline and all this other stuff that comes with it. But I think at the end of the day, like, I don't know, being explorative and really, I mean, not being bogged down by one single thing is probably a little easier on the mental health for me.
Yeah. If you can handle the times of uncertainty.
Yeah. Which sometimes I can, sometimes I cannot.
Now, just a quick aside. Did you say pedestal?
I meant pedestal.
Because a pedestal is sort of like what a stool is. A pedestal. Oh, I can't get there.
A pedestal is a pedestal.
But that you sit on.
Not. Yeah, exactly. I meant a pedestal. I meant the one, you know, where you hold someone up.
Yeah, like your cat. Like
yeah, exactly.
It was just beautiful. But I think it's absolutely true. And I've definitely envied that life because in my mind, I'm like, oh, the reason that I'm not, 10 steps farther or whatever is because I just didn't know for like, people who knew, sometimes I look at these kids that start comedy when they're like 17, 18, 19 years old.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, so now you're 10 years in at 27 and like, no matter if you're not a fucking idiot, then you're going to be really a lot better. You're going to, maybe you don't have the natural talent of somebody else, but like with comedy, I don't know. Sometimes we're like, oh, well, that person, they used to suck and they got better. Yeah. They put time, they did it enough that if they're not a complete idiot, then they're going to get better at it. You know? But like, was I like 23? So that's not that old, honestly, either, but around 23 when I started, and I was like, oh man, if I'd been doing this like 4 years earlier or more, then I'd like have already developed this, that, and the other thing, and I'd like know my voice and all that. Like, but I don't know. At the same time, like that would have meant sacrificing other things, like having different relationships and like pursuing other things. And I pretty much, one of the things that I hold very true is that like, in the infinite universes that we could exist in, like that, bisect off when you make these choices, like there's no such thing as like, if I had only done this, then this like would have happened. Because if you had done that, then you are now setting off on a completely different path.
Right.
So you can't say that like altering the one thing would change the one thing 1-to-1 in the future.
Right.
I don't know. That's
the butterfly effect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So much. It is
relevant. It comes up. The butterfly effect comes up for me like once a year. And yeah, because you're honestly changing so much more than that, It's like when you're in the multiverse and you go back to the past, you can't change the past because it's going to have, you don't know what the ripple effects on the future is.
Absolutely.
So, no, I feel that. I used to get down on myself a lot about that and be like, oh, if I would have changed that one thing. And I started comedy late. I started at 27. But I'm like, there's a reason I started at 27. Like maybe there's something I know now that I wouldn't have known then. That's like also like kept me going with it, that I wouldn't have, I would have quit or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I know right now I've been seeing this meme go around that's like, too old to be a TikTok star, too young to like buy property or like, something like that, and being like on the in between. Cause I feel like a lot of millennials maybe feel this way in particular, being pretty sure you're never going to know what you want out of this life, but just winging it forever. Cause we've just generationally been through so much.
Yeah.
I'm losing the thread here, but I say all this to say, we're all winging it, right?
Yeah.
And there's no problem with winging it. I think that's leaves you open to a grand of a future, just as grand.
Yeah, but you can find happiness in a million different places. And
exactly.
I think maybe a lot of the like fear around this, like a fear of being like, oh, am I never going to know what I want? It's like maybe coming from comparing yourself to somebody that you feel does know what they want.
Right.
But like, there's no guarantee that is like what brings happiness, and just having a direction doesn't equate to like success and happiness. I think you can find that success and happiness on a chance. Like,
so true. And I think a lot of people are putting out there like this idea that they know what they want, but they actually don't. I think it's just like, we'll see someone put something out there and someone will dig it up from the internet and this person's like, I don't feel that way anymore. So I think taking those types of things into consideration as well, like it's just, the world is forever changing, you're forever changing and evolving, so there's no need to like pigeonhole yourself into being like, I have to know exactly this,
just to like round this conversation out, because I think this is absolutely normal to me.
Yeah, same.
I would like to enumerate some of the things that I wanted to be when I grew up.
Okay.
Victoria's Secret model.
Really?
Yeah. Was like, I got big honkers. Obviously, I should be a Victoria's Secret model. Never have I ever been like a fitness person or anything like that. I got tons of weird scars and bruises. I didn't realize that there was maybe more than just having triple D's to be a Victoria angel. But I did think that was going to be my future at one point.
That's a good one.
Do you have any big dreams from young Yomi?
One, maybe not too young, but I did think I was going to be a lawyer for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, I definitely had that phase. I studied for the LSAT and everything.
So this is like later.
This was a little later. I thought I was going to go into that. I was told growing up, which I don't know if this is a compliment, but growing up, I was told that I would make a good lobbyist.
Okay, because you make a good argument for something, or
yeah, I used to love to argue. I don't argue. I found peace in my life.
That's funny. I don't know you as that person at all. I
don't know. Well, you have to get me drunk to see that now. But yeah, I used to love to argue. And yeah, so I always thought like lobbyist, lawyer. I thought I was going to like go into politics of some kind and just sell my soul for a lot of money, probably working for a side that I didn't necessarily believe in. And yeah, who knows? Yeah, that's a random. That one I'm like, wow, I can't even imagine.
Who is that person?
Who is that person? But there's parts of that person who still live on in me for sure. Like I can get heated here and there, but yeah, I think it's funny. And I do think comedian and lawyer share. There's a Venn diagram.
Yeah, there's monologuing. There's like getting people to feel a certain way, right?
Right. Yeah. So I do think there's that. Hell, I don't even know if I want to be like. I'm about to ask you. This is too deep for this pod. Like, what's your ultimate goal?
No. See, I don't know. I'm fucking winging it.
You're winging it.
I like learned. I was open to like finding a partner, and that person already knew they wanted to have kids, and I was like, I think I want to have kids, and I learned that I did, and now I have one, and like we're winging it, baby.
Yeah.
I love the life that has come together.
Yeah.
I'm not rich,
Yeah.
But I'm not rich with money. I'm rich with Bitcoin.
I'm rich in the cloud.
I'm rich with like bricks but no cords,
Exactly.
I have everything I could need. I don't have Bitcoin. I just want the people to know that you know me better than that.
There is not but one Bitcoin between the two.
Nary and Ethereum.
Yeah, Nary and Ethereum.
That's what the individuals are called. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, we got a little deep there. It's not our usual subject matter, but it's important to talk about.
Yeah, I thought this was a good one.
Yeah.
And I feel that. I mean, I like the way my life has unfolded, and I feel like it's still unfolding.
Yes,
that's
the thing.
I don't think it ever stops. I think evolution is continuous, and I think like ultimately enlightenment is like learning that you're kind of always evolving and like embracing that evolvement. That's like my personal worldview. So yeah, I feel that.
I think that's very deep, very beautiful. Like, yeah, just being receptive, being open. Like, if you're in a way, if you always know what you want, you're closing yourself off. So
right, because that doesn't leave a lot of room for other people to come in. It's like I was watching that show, Indian Matchmaking.
Oh,
great show.
Haven't seen.
Oh, you would love it. And this prolific matchmaker in India are her like doing matchmaking for people, and there's a real difference between the people who are like, here's my list of 10 things that I like won't budge on. Mm-hmm. And I'm like open, mm-hmm. The ones who are open, I feel like they're going on more dates. They're finding more like things that are like good about a person or could be open to a person. Whereas like the people who are like, this is what I want. And I just want someone to fit in my life. And mm-hmm. this is how I've determined it. Have a lot harder time on that show of like finding someone. And I think that applies to like life, right? Like just being open to it. So
here.
Yeah. But you're normal. You're normal like the rest of us. Don't feel overwhelmed by the winging it. I know sometimes the uncertainty gets a little, the uncertainty will get you. That's where I go crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just find some people that can like support you and be like, or be supportive when you're in your unknowns, and then like, try not to wallow in it, I guess. This isn't an advice show. This is the show where we discuss if things are normal, but we really dove in.
Yeah. And we love giving advice. This is an advice show, but some of the write-ins, I'm like, maybe people are looking for advice, because we got some write-ins that I'm excited to do in later episodes, but I've been loving hearing from y'all. And I'm like, one we got, I was like, this feels like a Dear Annie one that we're going to have to answer. So I'm excited to.
Deep shit.
Yeah. So people want to know. But yeah, I guess because everything can be broken down on the spectrum of normal or special.
Yeah. And then we throw in some outsiders just for a little pizzazz.
Exactly. Well, I think that was it for this week's episode.
It's a heady one. I love it.
Yeah.
We talked irrational fears, pets, cats as gods, and the future. So much. If you like this show though, you should rate it, you should review it, you should share it with your friend, your enemies, your cousins. Leave a little comment. You can submit your Is This Normal through our anonymous form, or you can email us at isthisnormalcomedy@gmail.com. We are open to it all. And until next time, you're special. You're normal.
We love you.
Love you.
Bye.